On several occasions, President Yoweri Museveni has dished out money to his supporters or other groups of people, especially during visits to rural areas. The most prominent incident was when he handed over at least 250 million shillings in a sack to a youth group in Jinja. It's common for some people to turn out for political events to be given money, usually referred to as facilitation, and in some cases, quarrels ensue in sharing the money, leading to fights like in this case in Busoga during the campaign to popularize the Chankwanzi resolution that endorsed President Museveni for the 2016 general elections. A study conducted by the Democracy Monitoring Group (DEM Group) in 2010 showed that majority of people from the 20 districts sampled confirmed that vote buying occurs at all levels of elective political positions and in every region. Some legislators blame the president for entrenching the culture of money in politics.
When the president goes around the countryside carrying money in sacks, the expectation from the population is that an MP would go carrying money in a camera.
In an effort to help reverse this culture, the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs, NDI Uganda, held a dialogue with members of parliament from different political parties. Now, while all participants agreed that politics was increasingly becoming commercialized, they disagreed on the extent of the problem.
Having money made out of business or inherited does not make you a successful leader.
Two people who had called me earlier and they came to my home with a case of somebody whose knee has to be replaced, which is a referral case. And the bill is 12 million. They want me to contribute.
Tomorrow I have 3 weddings, which I have to attend. And I have to give not less than 200,000. We are not discussing state failure. The failure of the state to play its role in the livelihoods of a Honorable Nabila as well as the police officer in Amuru.
What is happening in the schools where young children are competing to become prefects in their respective schools?
And I think we need to be honest and separate the campaign cost minus the bribery.
But what exactly does money, when used to bribe or influence, do to politics? Few candidates could win without distributing money and other resources to the voters. Money is then used to manipulate and rig elections to gain political power. Elections become a contest between the affluent or rich or the privileged and exclude the poor, which is a complete reversal of the aim of democracy. It corrupts the political process since those elected will attempt to recover the monies they used after gaining positions of influence. Voters no longer focus on the issues but on money, thus interfering with the discussion of policy issues. It institutionalizes a regime based on patronage. Policies and programs will be directed on the basis of influence, thus adversely constraining resource distribution to depressed areas. Those who win on the basis of money become abusers of the political system and are less concerned about people's demands because they bought their way to parliament and other elective offices. I asked General Tafire, a veteran of the 1986 Bush War, on why the NRM government he supports continuously uses money, like the recent 4 million shillings handed out to over 200 NRM MPs, to popularize the Chankwanzi resolution.
But facilitating of your workers during a campaign is not commercialization of politics, because your political agents have to eat, they have to move.
Do people own political parties? Because you cannot demand from somebody whom you do not really make a contribution to.
Explains why we have fewer women members of parliament, because in most cases it is men who have the money, it is the men who have the means of getting into corrupt deals.
General Tafire, who is the Justice Minister, says money triggers violence with those who can't afford resorting to uncouth means to capture power.
That's obvious.
So what is the way forward then?
A law on commercialization of politics should have passed much earlier. And I think we have not done service to our country by not passing this law way back. However, let's do it now.
Let's sensitize and empower our people.
Analysts say that commercialization of politics, where the electorate use money as a vetting tool for their candidates, is an evil that has existed for many decades around the globe, and it should be fought before it turns into a monster. Critics say that some legislators are financially kaput and highly indebted as they continue to wallow in a culture which they perpetuated. Sudhir Biarhanga, NTV Weekend Edition.